Henry, there are some interesting initial developments happening in Europe with LTE. So we get a glimpse of what the future is going to look like. So can you take us through that and also point in the direction of where this is moving to over the next couple of years?
Well, that's quite right. If we look at the telecoms landscape in Europe over, well, let's say 5 to 10 years, what's very evident is that there are two focus areas for operator investments. One is on the landline side in fibre networks, moving predominantly to fibre to the home infrastructure. For mobile network operators, it's very clear that they're going to be moving to network capacity upgrades. Now, it is evident that most network capacity at the moment is very, very strained. The network operators have to accept that by about 2012 they'll be carrying the majority of all voice calls, i.e. more than the fixed line operators. Network capacity can't cope at the moment. This was made very clear to O2 with its almost experiment, if you will, with the iPhone. They had the exclusive right to sell and market the iPhone in the UK from 2007. That has since expired. You have Vodafone and other operators as of this year also selling the iPhone. But there was a real customer backlash that O2 was promoting the iPhone but was unable to deliver. There was very bad service with customers unable to physically use the phone and having to rely on their other 2G and 3G telephones. So as we can see, what is happening is that network operators and regulators and indeed governments are really shifting towards a focus on spectrum. Spectrum will be the guiding principle which will help these mobile networks expand and deliver on services. And we're talking about essentially three different spectra. The 2.6 gigahertz band, which is being auctioned across Europe, I think roughly 8 countries thus far, most recently the Netherlands and Germany. This year, by the end of 2011, the UK will also have auctioned 2.6 gigahertz spectrum. There's also the very important sub-gigahertz digital dividend spectrum. This is generally in the 800 megahertz spectrum. O2 is a key player here. It's a pan-European operator and it has been trialling LTE on that spectrum, 800 megahertz, across the board almost, certainly in the UK this year, in Germany and also in the Czech Republic. And thirdly, you have refarming of 2G spectrum, more specifically 900 megahertz and 1800. Together, these three bands will really allow network operators to shift up again tremendously. They'll be able to support many more subscribers and thereby promote high-end data services. Now, LTE is commercially viable. It's in the very early stages. TeliaSonera was the world first in December 2009. It now has commercial operations in Oslo, very recently, this week, in Gotenburg and also in Stockholm. They have the infrastructure in place in these cities. Take-up is relatively low because it is a new development, but we should see within the next year or so whether the existing LTE network can cope, but certainly within the next couple of years when the company gets its spectrum, that'll be a real turning point. But in sum, the next 2 years with new spectrum releases and regulatory moves to have mobile broadband promoted for national broadband networks, we can see some really exciting developments in this area in Europe.
Thank you very much, Henry.